Hello, my name is Uzma Sayed, and in this presentation is for MBA 6103 Statistics for Data Analytics. In this video, I will walk through Model 13, which focuses on logistic regression using the ELS 2002 dataset and JASP. Logistic regression is used when the dependent variable is binary, meaning it has two possible outcomes. In this case, the dependent variable is grad school, which indicates whether a student attended graduate school or not. I will explain two modules. Part 1, which examine academic preparation and socioeconomic status. Part 2, which examine socioeconomic status, race, and whether SES affect racial groups differently using an interactional term. Part 1, logistic regression, grad school. Part 1 examines whether writing ability and socioeconomic status predict the likelihood of attending graduate school. Both predictors are continuous variables and are included as covariants in the model. I will first look at the model's summary table. This table compares the null model with the model that includes writing and SESQ. The model is statistically significant with a p-value less than 0.001, indicating that adding writing and SESQ significantly improves prediction of graduate school attendance. The teacher's R square value is 0.186, which means that this model explains about 18.6% of the variation in the graduate school attendance. For logistic regression, this represents a relatively strong model fit. Next, I will interpret the coefficient table starting with writing. Writing has an odds ratio of 2.071 with a p-value less than 0.001. This means that for every 1 unit increases in writing score, the odds of attending graduate school increases by 107%, holding socioeconomic status consistent. The confidence interval does not include 1, which, which confirms that this effect is statistically significant. This indicates that writing ability is strong and meaningful predictor of graduate school attendance. Coefficient table, SCSQ. Now I will interpret SCSQ, which represent socioeconomic status. SCSQ has an odds ratio of 1.940 with the p-value less than 0.001. This means that each 1 unit increases in SCSQ increases the odds of attending graduate school by 94%, holding writing ability constant. Again, the confidence interval does not include 1, confirming statistical significance. This shows that students from higher socioeconomic backgrounds are substantially more likely to attend graduate school. The estimate plot visually represents these findings. The writing plot shows that as writing scores increases, the predicted probability of attending graduate school steadily increases. The SESQ plot shows that students in higher socioeconomic have a higher predicted probability of attending graduate school. These plots help translate odds ratios into predicted probabilities, making the result easier to interpret. Part 1, Uh, in summary, for part one, both writing ability and socioeconomic status are statistically significant and strong predictor of graduate school attendance, and together they explain a meaningful portion of the variation in outcomes. Part two. Uh, Part 2 expands the analysis by examining race, socioeconomic status, and whether the effect of SES differ across racial groups uh, using an interaction term. Race is included as a categorical variable with Asian student used as a reference group. Looking at the part 2 model summary, the model is again statistical significant with a p-values less than 0.001. The teacher's R square value is 0.135, meaning this model explains about 13.5% of the variation in graduate school attendance. Although slightly lower than part 1, this model provides important significant into racial differences and interaction effects. SSC has an odd ratio of 2.375 with a p-value less than 0.001. This means that for the references group Asian, each 1 unit increases in SSC increases the odds of attending graduate school by approximately 138%. SSC is therefore a strong predictor of graduate school attendance. Then, race is interpreted a relative of the Asian reference group. Compared to Asian students, Black students have 64.7% lower odds of attending grad school. Uh, Hispanic students have 68% lower odds. White students have 55.3% lower odds. All of these differences are statistically significant. This indicates clear racial uh, disparities in graduate school attendance even after controlling for SES. Next, I examine the interaction terms to determine whether SESC affects racial groups differently. The interaction for SESC into Black and SESC into Hispanic are not significantly significant, meaning statistically significant, meaning SES affects these groups similarly to Asians. However, the SES into interactions is statistically significant with an odds ratio of 1.913. This indicates that increases in SES have a stronger positive effect for white students compared to Asian students in predicting graduate school attendance. In conclusion, both the analyses demonstrate that academic preparation, socioeconomic status, and race plays important roles in graduate school attendance. Part 1 shows that writing ability and socioeconomics background are strong predictors of graduate school attendance. Part 2 reveals persistent racial uh, and shows that socioeconomics advantages do not benefit all racial groups equally, with white students expressing a strong positive effect of SES. Overall, these results highlight the complex and intersecting influence of academic skills, socioeconomics backgrounds, and race on access to graduate education. Thank you for listening.